All right, happy Tuesday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast coming to you from the Hat Creek Interior Studios. You don't have to own a ranch to live like it. All you got to do is go by Hat Creek Interiors. They got the greatest Western style furniture and accessories between, I don't know, the East Coast and the West Coast. They deliver to you if you don't live around here in West Texas. Check them out on the website, hatcreek.us. Amazing furniture. Let me put it this way. If you love Lonesome Dove, you need to talk to the folks at Hat Creek Interiors. So tonight we got stuff going on. College sports is better than ever. Yeah, better than ever. Prove me I'm wrong. NIL, Transfer Portal, making it better than ever. We're going to look at some ratings that will prove me right tonight from college football this year, and Texas Tech shows up big in it. So we'll talk about that. We're going to visit with Texas Tech Lady Raider head coach Krista Gerlich tonight about 6:50 on the show and preview their game against Iowa State. It's time to get that rivalry reignited with the Twister sisters. And then Super Bowl hype. We are required by the FCC every night to engage in Super Bowl hype. That's right. Tonight, Tuesday's best. We give you a topic. We do it on the website, theraiderland.com in the morning. You saw the Raiderland hot links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker in Post, Texas. Meat. Cheeses, too. The two best places to have a Super Bowl. That if you were going to rotate the Super Bowl between two cities, what would you choose and why? You tell us tonight. All right, all of that coming your way in three, in two. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. Glad you're with us in the Hat Creek Interior Studios tonight for the daily broadcast. We are brought to you in part by our good friends in Red River, New Mexico at Lifts West Hotel and Condominium, right there next to the ski slopes. Literally, it's walking distance. That in the summer, it's walking distance like 25 steps to the river. You get the idea. You've got all sorts of great weekends coming up. Mardi Gras in the mountains coming up in a couple of weeks in February. You got spring break. If you haven't made your reservations, get a hold of our friend Billy Hurst there at Lifts West, right next to Red River Brewery. I don't know a better combination for Raiderland people than Lifts West and Red River Brewery, but hey, there it is. Give my man Billy a call. Tell him we sent you. Also by the Reserve here in Lubbock, a culinary tavern. Sounds good. Yeah, great brunch, great dinner. Not open for lunch yet. I've been banging on Nick for the last year or so. Hey, open up for lunch, man. We'll come in there. 103rd and Quaker. Uh, Great atmosphere, great food. Don't sleep on the appetizers. If you're looking for a place to watch the games this weekend, you can go there to the Reserve. Tell them we said hey. And everybody who gets in on the show tonight, you communicate. I mean, you sit there and type, you communicate literally back and forth. United Supermarkets chat line, easy to do. It's like texting in, but different. United Supermarkets, though, legendary service in West Texas. The ones that put their names on stuff at Texas Tech, as opposed to the grocery store in Lubbock in West Texas that takes your money and puts stuff on, takes your money, uses their name, not yours, and puts it on stuff in Austin. All right, let's get it going. What's on your mind tonight? What do you want to visit about? From Texas Tech basketball, Texas Tech football, Lady Raider basketball, Super Bowl hype, anything and everything on the table this evening. Now, I know there are some of you out there that say you hate where college sports is today. You don't like it. Why? It's never been more fair, and it's never been more popular. Truly, it hasn't. And we can kind of prove it. Lynn jumps in and says, good evening. Well, you guys can do the same thing on Facebook. Our friends on YouTube, right now, it's Raiderland. Don't cost nothing. Everybody on YouTube, want you to do a couple of things. Give it the thumbs up, share it, subscribe, and invite people in. If you can do that, that'd be awesome. But I hear people bemoan and whine about where college sports is today, and I'm going to take Texas Tech out of it for just a second here. even though Texas Tech factors in. And we can look at the reality. Let's go to on3.com sports. Top 10 TV games this year. All right. So this year, on3.com tracked Nielsen big data, panel data throughout the season. Up 4% year over year, ESPN. All right. College football playoff viewership up 16%. And we're going to go through and I'm going to give you the top 10 most watched college football games this year, or college football playoff. National championship game, Indiana, Miami. The game saw a 36% increase year over year. Who was in it last year? Ohio State and Notre Dame. I'm told that we can't exist if Notre Dame's not in the playoffs. We'll never have any. Oh, wait. We had Ohio State, Legacy, Blue Blood, Notre Dame last year. That's about as good as you can get, right? If you're a TV net, 22.1 million, 30.1 million this year. Indiana and Miami. Miami has like 8 graduates. What was second? Rose Bowl, 23.9. Again, Indiana, Alabama. Hi there, Alabama. Thanks for showing up. Cotton Bowl, quarterfinal, Miami, Ohio State. Sugar Bowl, Ole Miss, Georgia, SEC. Week 14 now. We get into the regular season. Ohio State and Michigan. Finally, the Big Ten actually showing up and carrying some weight. 18.4 million on that one. Number 6, Big Ten championship, Indiana, Ohio State. Now, how can that be? That's Indiana. Oh, well. Peach Bowl, quarterfinal semis. Indiana, Oregon. Not bad, 18 million. Number 8, SEC championship game, Georgia, Alabama. Number 9, week 1, Texas, Ohio State. Either SEC, Big Ten. And you know what? 16.6 million people tuned in to see Arch Manning. That's what they tune in for. Number 10 ranked game all year long. 15.9 million. ESPN. Not ABC. Not CBS. ESPN. January 1st, noon. Texas Tech and Oregon. That was the number 6 game all year on ESPN, Texas Tech and Oregon. Tell me again how NIL, that nobody's watching. We can't stand it anymore. We hate it. We're not going to watch. It's ruining college football. Transfer portal. Everything's up. More teams are in. We just proved it. And what this proves is when you've got Texas Tech right in there on the 6th most watched game, that it destroys the narrative. I mean, Texas Tech and Oregon are 2 small market teams. Oregon from the Big Ten, whatever. Those are small market teams. Which is why I sit here and look at those numbers and I go, how many of those games featured Notre Dame? Why do you need Notre Dame at this point? If you're the college football playoff, why do you bend over backwards to get them in there? Doesn't matter. That it still seems to me that the power conferences don't understand. They hold all the cards over Notre Dame. They can force Notre Dame to either get in a conference or what are they going to do? Hold their own playoff? Okay. Do what you're going to do. All right, you guys jump in on the United Supermarkets chat line tonight. College football, college basketball, better now than ever before, yes or no? You tell us why. I just gave you some reasons why. You tell me if you agree or disagree. Super Bowl hype tonight. Before we visit with Lady Raider head coach Krista Gerlich, coming up at about 6:50. You can get your thoughts, comments in, and everything else. And if you saw our visit last night with Chad Sherwood from hoopshd.com talking about men's basketball. Texas Tech positioned better than they've been, I think, ever before right now. On the cusp of the 3 line, probably a 4 seed if we started the tournament today. Breaking news right now. Breaking news. We've done a deep dive. The tournament will not start today. The tournament will not start for us about 5 more weeks, I think, as we look at the dry erase calendar up there. But yet there they are. And we saw a great game last night with Arizona and BYU. Big comeback by BYU, aided in part by the officials. The officiating in that game, horrible across the board. Yeah, what do you expect? You get the so-called best officials every night working every night for like 38 straight days. What do you think the games are going to look like? Yeah, it's just... All right, Jeff is on our YouTube channel, Ryan Heights, Raiderland. I know Jeff has given us thumbs up. He's shared it. He's invited people in. I want to see more non-blue bloods leverage NIL and the portal to add new faces to the top 25 in those high-profile games. I think you're seeing it. I think we're already seeing it to an extent. But more schools are figuring it out. More schools are looking at what Texas has done and Indiana has done, going, all right, we can be a part of this thing. I mean, I can't imagine that it's only Texas Tech and Indiana that have graduates that have jobs and have money. The biggest shift now is the money is going to labor and not capital. Labor, players, not buildings, not juice bars, not just meaningless crap, because that's where all the money had to go before, you know? Come on, Rice House, you can get great again. We didn't build that big 75,000 seat stadium in 1957 just because we were average down there in Houston. It would eventually host a Super Bowl there in 1974? 1974, I think. I remember one year somebody saying if every living Rice graduate brought 3 friends to their stadium for a football game, it would be 1/3 full. I mean, we got to get Sheldon. We got to get the Big Bang guys. Surely one of those guys went to Rice, right? Big Bang Theory or whatever that show is and everything. That's like weird facts that I did not know until fairly recently. One of my mom's favorite TV shows is Big Bang Theory. Who the hell knew? Had no idea. Coach Hyatt, my dad, vaguely aware maybe that there was a Big Bang Theory. No, that's not true. Yeah, maybe it is. Don't know. All right, so, you know, Jeff talks about more non-blue bloods. I think we're seeing it. I think they're trying to figure out how to make it work and how to do it in the ever-changing landscape, but it can be done. Robert, why all the Notre Dame hate? All you are proving is how much Notre Dame is carrying the ACC. Notre Dame didn't do a damn thing for the ACC. Notre Dame didn't do anything for the ACC. Don't do anything for the ACC. They sent a letter to the ACC saying, we're mad as hell that you guys didn't stand up for us. Robert is a Notre Dame fan, and I respect that, but they've done nothing for the ACC. JCTT, you just pointed out that Notre Dame's and conference business model does not work. Tech in good shape, but no school can survive solely on alums. Need Walmart fans. Do you really? I mean, do you really? No, what college football needs is college football fans, just like the NFL needs football fans. Nobody went to the University of Dallas Cowboys, University of Washington Redskins. I said it out loud. Nobody went to the University of Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody in the NFL is a Walmart fan, as you might say. So what college football needs is more 100% fans across the board, and the people that'll make it work are going to be the alums, though, willing to invest in it going forward. It's got to be both. But you're right. Tech's in good shape. Lynn, I got to march in that Rice Stadium, 1975, with the going band from Raiderland. Ryan, two things can be true. Still love college football and NIL, but more structure in the process is badly needed. I agree. Hence why we need CBA, collectively bargain agreements, unionization of athletes. The quickest way to control cost for colleges, universities, is to allow that to happen. Now, you're going to probably have to do that at a higher level than the NCAA currently and even the conferences currently. You're going to have to create a super league, probably going sport by sport, football, basketball, break down everything else after that. You are incredibly smart, Ryan. You're incredibly right. Two things can be true at the same time. And that's how we fix it. And it's okay. Jeff, Super Bowl. But did you know Sam Darnold's dad was an Olympic athlete and the Marlboro Man? True facts. Yeah, I heard that. We're still living in a world where Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl quarterback. Right up there with Trent Dilfer. I mean, really. All of a sudden, Sam Darnold, Trent Dilfer, same sentence. Matt Pock. How do I say? Give me a pronunciation guide, by the way, on this Met Pack, something. The actor who played Sheldon is a Texan who graduated from Houston. The more you know. Yeah, I think they allude to that a couple of times on the series, that he's from Texas or whatever, or his mom's from Texas. The one last night, the last one I saw my mom was watching last night, the Time Machine, which was nearly as cool as the Time Machine episode of Phineas and Ferb, which we must give great respect to the social media team for Texas Tech Lady Raider basketball for using a Phineas and Ferb Dr. Doofenshmirtz meme this weekend after getting snowed in there in Utah after the big win against Utah. Krista Gerlich coming up in about, 4 minutes or so, give or take. Talk a little Lady Raider basketball. See how that goes. College sports better than it's ever been. Prove me wrong. I just gave you the numbers. Texas Tech had the 6th highest rated. Texas Tech in Oregon. Eugene, small market, by the way. 6th highest ESPN telecast all year long. Robert, the college football playoff final that was watched because no SEC teams were involved. Yeah, okay, cool. Dude, here's the deal. If Notre Dame doesn't want to be a part of it, don't care, and the numbers will rise, and they will continue to rise. And if the other conferences would put them in a box, it wouldn't matter. The reason that doesn't happen is because ESPN is scared to not have 100%. The ESPN, Entertainment Sports Network, is scared to not have Notre Dame in there because they're stupid. JCWT, Tech needs more viewers, period. Well, yeah. Alums donate. But that doesn't turn into viewers. Winning on a big stage will help. Yes, Sheldon, actor from Houston, was on some rocket ads. Who knew? Joseph, I love NCAA football with NIL, but it's not the high cost. What is it? But it's not the high cost of the stars, but the inflated price of mediocrity that will hurt the game. I have no idea what that means. The inflated price of mediocrity. It sounds like a really bad album from a 1980s punk band. The inflated price of mediocrity. We love Coach Krista. Damn right you should. Jeff, preemptive thanks for having Coach Gerlich on. Yeah, you guys can fire away when she jumps in. Hopefully everything will work out technologically wise, and we get her on here in a few minutes. And you can fire away some comments, questions in the queue, and I'll try to get to them and everything. Kind of nervous. I've never interviewed Coach Gerlich before. Never had a chance to visit with her before, so we're a little nervous talking Lady Raider basketball. Don't have a lot of backdrop on the program or anything. So I'm hoping it works out good. We hope it works out good. It could. It should. 20 wins on the season already. That's pretty good from what we hear. Trending on the ESPN bracketology. By the way, ESPN sucks when it comes to bracketology. So if they're saying Tech 6 today, they do Tuesday, I think, and Thursday, that probably tells me Tech's like a 5 or a 4, give or take, in the respect for the Big 12 conference going forward. So I don't know. We'll see. But 100%, yeah, just pay no attention to most of the bracketology. It's some dude living in their parents' garage, down in the basement, don't got no shirt on. They're making up stuff as they go along. All right, one more before we bring in Coach Gerlich. Tech missing the Big 12 champ game would have been money spent on mediocrity, and dollars would have hit. Okay. Sorry, my eyesight's so bad it's hard to read some of the comments. Meanwhile, it gives me great pleasure to welcome on to the program, I think in the first time on this iteration of Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, the head coach of the Texas Tech Lady Raiders. You may know her. You may have met her. You may have seen her out. Krista Gerlich joins us now. Coach, how are you doing?
Hey, Ryan. I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited to have you on. Thanks for carving
Thank
out a
you.
little time. I know how busy it is right now, and it means a lot to me to have you on.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm always honored to be here.
Are you having fun yet with this bunch?
I am. I am. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun. And, sometimes I have to remind myself, that especially in the heat of the battle, that's what I signed up for. And that's the fun part. You got to kind of let yourself get lost in the battle sometime, enjoy it.
I have chuckled a little bit. Some people are talking about, look at this. It's an overnight success, and here they are, 20 wins and everything, and out of nowhere, this has happened. This has been a process. This has been pieces you have put in place over the last several years. When did you begin to think that this team was going to be not necessarily a culmination, but to show the fruits of everything you've been putting in place over the last couple of seasons?
Yeah, I thought last spring when we had the core returning and who that was. And I'm not going to tell you that I wasn't a little bit disappointed in a couple of kids that left. And there wasn't a lot I could do about that when money talks, and that was
Yeah,
definitely the reason that was happening. But
it's the
um,
world we live in today.
it
It's
is.
different.
It is. But the core that we had coming back, I knew was really solid and really tight and really, really believed in what we were doing. And as we were adding pieces to the puzzle, you could just tell piece by piece that we were putting together something special. And I think obviously this summer, um, I'm so glad we had that opportunity to go to
Yeah.
Germany because not only just for the preparation and the practice and but no one expected us to do well there either. And when we did and we showed some fight with a lot of missing pieces from this current team,
Oh yeah.
because we didn't play with any of our international kids. We didn't play with Bailey Maupin. And those kids really rose up and came together and fought through. And I was like, this team could be really, really special. And then when we returned and got everybody on campus and practicing, you could just feel it. Like we've had so much fun and they've been so mature. And yeah, we hit a little road, a little bump in the road, but you're always that's gonna happen. I mean, that's just gonna happen. And I think that our kids have responded to it really well. And we've got another big test tomorrow.
We'll get to Iowa State here in just a second. Jeff is commenting online, talking about the success in the NIT last year, and you got to Germany before I could get to it. That these moments for teams together, cooped up in hotels, all of that, even just this last weekend or last week after 2 losses, and you got to live with each other, and all of a sudden, it creates kind of a bonding. Bring all that together a little bit, all the way going back, and you already touched on it a little bit, but over the summer and then even just this weekend, what that time as a team means, because I think it's harder and harder to get that these days for teams when they're together like that, close community, and hey, we're all having the same crappy eggs for breakfast.
No doubt, no doubt. Oh, and first of all, like even going back to the question, the comment or whatever, like we did have success last year in the at the end of the season, and it really started clicking and rolling, and so I think we got a taste of it, and so those returning certainly saw that, and I have to say, because nobody knows how hard it is to turn a program around and how long it takes to do it the right way when you have to clean up culture in the locker room, that you know
Bingo.
just all kinds of things. And we've put together this is going to be our fourth winning season, and that hasn't happened in this program in over 15 years. And so you can say what you want about the non-conference, whatever. You still have to end on a winning note, right? Like you still have to find a way to get to over 500. So that's in itself is one thing. But yeah, going to Germany and spending 2 weeks in a foreign country where everybody's against you, like really the people that are in your travel party are your people. That's it.
People, yeah.
That's it. And just going through those battles together was something that you just created memories that you're going to have for a lifetime. And it's those core memories that really stick with you that can create these great bonds. And even like you said this last week, I'm so glad we were on the road when that happened, because it forced us to be together. It forced us to have hard conversations. It forced this group to go through a really big piece of adversity that this group hadn't been through. Like when we got beat by K-State, somebody said to me that's on our staff, that's our first loss since July.
Wow.
And everybody thinks the sky is falling, and we're like, hey, we did not compete well the way that we wanted to, and we learned some valuable lessons, and unfortunately we had to learn it in a loss. And then we thought we had fixed some things, and I feel like it was just kind of masked, and we go to BYU and another set of problems arises. And so I think at that point is when our kids really had to look each other in the eyes. Coaches had to look each other in the eyes. As a whole program, we looked at each other, and we made so much progress, and we became so much tighter over the last 48 hours than we ever would had we not gone through that adversity, first of all, and then also had we not been together the entire time. And not only all of that, but also, like, it's not going to be the last adversity that we go through.
No.
Like, it's not. I told our kids it's not a vaccination. Like, there's not a vaccination for adversity. Like, you're gonna be in it. It's, can you pull together and get out of it? Or if you are in it, how long can you be uncomfortable and still stick together as you fight your way out of it? And then you're preparing for the next time you get in it, because it's coming again.
Every time, every year. I want to stay a little big picture before we get to Iowa State and make sure a bunch of folks get out there tomorrow night. But as a year goes through, players that you can count on. Bailey, you could count on her. Others coming in. Who has pleased you the most over the last 3 or 4 months, elevating and becoming a contributor? And it's not always just what they're doing on the court, but maybe it's what they're doing off the floor. To have a year like this, you got to have some players that are doing some things that nobody sees in the box score. Who are some of those players right now?
I think without hesitation, Danae Fritz. She's been so solid and so extremely loyal. And I mean, that kid would fall on a sword for any of us and for this program. And she's been like that really since the day I signed her. But also, I thought over the year of last year, she really realized that she was in a special place, and that she and I had a really special relationship. And it means a lot to her that I believe in her so much, and that I took a chance on her. And she shows it every single day with her work ethic, with how she competes on the court. We've asked her to be more of a scoring threat, and she certainly at times does that. But man alive, she just gives everything she has on the defensive end, and that is just a huge. And she's a glue kid too. Like, she's a big leader for us. Everybody thinks Bailey's our leader, and she is, but like, Danae's right there with her, and Danae really has a special relationship with all of her teammates, and a way to hold them accountable that's really rare these days because, we all know Danae's a little rough around the edges. And I love it. I absolutely love it because there's a toughness about her. But there's not a lot of girls that would respond to that unless she's done a great job of developing a relationship with them where they know that their best interest is at heart.
All
So
right,
she's definitely one of them.
I was going to get into the game coming up tomorrow, but Joseph jumps in on the chat line, and I knew this was coming. Stephanie Okachukwu? How close was I on that?
Oka. I have to. Somebody will say it, and then I mess it up, and then they mess it. I'm like, no, that's not right. Okachukwu.
Yeah. Okay.
Okachukwu.
You guys are having to proceed with the utmost of caution from a eligibility standpoint, from not wanting to burn any time that she can have at Tech. And I know you're kind of in a box on what you can say on this, and everybody wants to know, when's she going to be eligible? It's not that easy to answer that question, but where do you feel like you are right now?
Yeah. I mean, she will definitely become eligible. At this point, we kind of have to look at what's in the best interest for her because there's not a lot of season left. I mean, we're halfway through conference, and if we truly thought that she could really step in and help us, which she could, there's no doubt, she's 7 foot tall, but that it was in best interest for her too. But we're not necessarily holding her out ourselves. Like there is some eligibility things that we're just working through, and there's just not a reason to put our current team at risk with skipping steps, if you will.
And her as well.
Right. Same deal. Sure.
Is most of that academic transcript trying to figure out where she would be? Because she's not just a 17, 18-year-old, kid coming out of high school, that there's some, I'm going to use the term vagaries, maybe compared to what we would have in the States.
You're right. It's really complicated, and we have learned a lot through the process. And, I mean, she's 21, but yet graduated from high school in 2024. And so clearly there's a gap there, and there's some things that happen, and COVID's one of them, and, some family medical emergencies are in others and stuff like that. But she is enrolled in classes at Tech. She is practicing with us. We have not traveled her because we don't want her to miss class right now, because we feel like the academic piece is going to be instrumental for her. But we're still making sure that we can get as many years of eligibility from her that we possibly can, because we don't want it to just be a semester. We don't want it to just be a year. We really think that we can get 3 to 4.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk about what's coming up this week. Iowa State coming into town. I said this is kind of renewing or reigniting an old, great Big 12 rivalry, and it's cool to see this. Give me a little breakdown on kind of what you're expecting out of the Twister sisters tomorrow.
Yeah, so they obviously a really good basketball team. They've endured some injuries, and so they kind of got knocked off their path. They were an undefeated team for a while. They've got Audie Crooks in the middle. That's just incredible. I mean, she's just a bucket, and it's going to be a very difficult
task. She is in the middle, yeah.
Yes, it's going to be a very difficult task for us to defend her. But they've also got some nice pieces around them, with Jada Williams running the point, and they just got Aria Robinson back. That is a really nice guard for them. And so it's going to be a battle. I do believe, I love the history just of the past couple of years. That gives our kids confidence, because 2 years ago at Texas Tech, we beat them. Last year, it's a great game, until I think they pulled away in the end and beat us by 10 or 12 or so, like that. And but really good competition. Clearly, we have 2 kids on our roster that played at Iowa State, and so that always beefs up a little bit of intensity and rivalry, if you will. But I think it's going to be a fantastic basketball game. I think it's 2 different styles. I think it's, it's 2 hungry teams that are trying to get back on track, and both have an opportunity to obviously play in the NCAA tournament, but also be a contender for the Big 12 championship. So it's going to be a big time atmosphere and a great game.
Weather's going to be good. Roads are clearing up. We saw a great crowd out there for the Kansas State game, and just didn't quite work out there at the end, but everything. How gratifying is it to you, coach? You got to separate yourself into like 8 different people
Yeah.
here. Coach,
Yeah.
former player, experience in it, want your kids to understand it, seeing these crowds come back out, and also helping them understand. And I spoke to this last weekend. I said, people don't understand. Players have to learn how to play in front of crowds like this, that they've never done it. And I saw this happen a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away with some Lady Raider teams that wanted to press so hard
Hmm.
and do so much for the fans that they almost overplayed.
Yeah.
How do you kind of balance that a little bit with this team and say, hey, they're here, they love you, just go play?
Yeah. The only way that we're going to get used to it is to keep doing it,
I
right? And
like that. I
so,
love it. Let's do
yeah,
it.
I need our fans to help us out. I need them to do their part and help us out. Um, it's funny that you said that because we've played in front of the kids game, right? And that's
Yeah.
15,000, but everybody knows those are kids and that, it's just different. It's just very different.
It's
We've played
ibuprofen day is what I called it.
Yeah, we've played in front of some really big crowds on the road. And we've handled it so great, but there is something about your friends and family, the people you care about the most, your school, the student body, like everybody just in there and again too, like our girls go to the men's games, like they've seen all that and they're like,
Yeah.
man, we wish we could do that. And then now they get that opportunity and we didn't perform at the level. But what what's interesting that you said that is that I was thinking about that as I walked out onto the court that day. First of all, I got chills. It makes me very emotional because I'm so excited and so proud of it, and that's what I've been building for. That's what we've been building
Yeah.
for. We knew that it could happen. I knew that it had been this way before, and I knew we could get it there again. But when they threw the ball up for us to play, I said to myself, because at that time, we were still in a position, and we may still be, we can still work our way to be there, where they were talking about us hosting a
Yeah.
regional. And I'm like, thank God we're playing in front of a crowd like this right now, instead of the first time it being in a regional
Right.
an NCAA tournament game and our kids freak out or have stage fright or whatever you want to call it. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, they're kids, you
Yeah.
know? And so, yeah, I had that very moment as well. I had that same thought process. Is like the only way that we're going to learn how to do it is to keep doing it. And I would say that our kids took some big steps in getting things right at Utah, and they are ready to play tomorrow night in a high intensity and a high level game in front of their Lady Raider Nation, and they are ready to have that backing.
It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see everything play out tomorrow night. Hey, Coach, thanks for the time. I know how busy you are right now. I know everything that's going, on and your time demands, and we're going to try to steal a little bit more as the year goes on, if you don't mind. Okay.
I don't mind at all. I appreciate it, Ryan, so much. And I appreciate your support. And one last shout out. We do need you. And it's the roads are going to be great. And if you can't get out there, transfer your tickets to somebody, gift them. But we need a crowd. And man, we just love it to see you out there. So thank you so much for all the support and appreciate you, Ryan.
You got it. And one more thing, take a deep breath and remember, these are the good old days.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
Enjoy
right.
every
Couldn't
minute
get
of it.
better.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Krista Gerlich there with us on the program. Glad you guys are with us tonight. We ask you to do a couple of things before we get out of here. Thank our great sponsors, Lifts West, Red River Hotel and Condominium, The Reserve, a culinary tavern, 103rd, 103rd and 5. Anyway, 103rd and Quaker. Great brunch. You can watch the games out there if you can't get to it. And of course, United Supermarkets. And we come to you every day from the Hatton Creek Interior Studios. We're going to archive this, put it up there. We want you to share it. We want you to bring it to your friends. We'll see you in the morning on the website. What if Wednesday? All right. I got to hit buttons. Buttons in the show. That's the way it ends. See you tomorrow.